Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Ghost in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Flash Suppressor attachment. We're going to be discussing how it changes the recoil on your weapons, how it changes your muzzle flash, and if it's a useful attachment or not, because some people really like this one and some people really hate it. The gameplay that you're seeing is me using the AK-12 with my Rainbow Zebra camo, foregrip, and the Flash Suppressor just running around killing some people on domination. Probably won't be there for too long, and I would like to apologize for my voice sounding somewhat unusual today. I've got a sore throat. It's that time of the year where you get colds and flu and whatnot. I got a little sinus drainage, sore throat, but I ate some Ben & Jerry's, had some Korean aloe drink, and I've drank some Chinese honey tea, and I've got my voice up to where I feel comfortable doing in-depth. But the best way to explain what the Flash Suppressor actually does is to test it out. So we're going to skip over to some testing right now, and this is me shooting at Quentin or Baruka. You probably see him on Twitter in my videos with an AK-12. The one on the left is normal, the one on the right has a Flash Suppressor, and you probably already noticed that the recoil on the two seems pretty similar. Maybe it seems like the one on the left is a bit shakier, but it's definitely more difficult to see the target that I'm shooting at. Quentin's behind the truck leaning around, and you can see the flashes are really obnoxious on the left side where they're not on the right, because it suppresses the flashes, and this is the main mechanic that it does. This is a Bison, and submachine guns don't flash as much as assault rifles, so you'll notice that the one on the left and the one on the right look pretty similar, and that there's not a whole lot of flashing going on the left. I shot for slightly different times on this one, but generally speaking, assault rifles, marksman rifles, light machine guns flash much more and benefit much more from this attachment than submachine guns. This is marksman rifles here. This is an MR28 if I'm not mistaken. You can see on the left there's some really bright flashes on occasion that can obscure your target, whereas on the right these are not present at all, and it makes it much easier for you to shoot people. But what many of you really want to know is, does this change the accuracy on your weapon? And the answer to that is no. I'm doing a very standard wall plot test here with my Bison with and without the Flash Suppressor, and you'll see that there's not really a clear pattern of recoil reduction on either one of these. I'm going to run multiple tests, but I talked to people on the Dinkirsten forums, I've asked around a whole lot of people, looked at the game code, and as far as the game code goes and any testing and anything, I have not been able to find a way to say that the Flash Suppressor reduces recoil at all in any way. What it really just does is it changes the flash and makes it much easier for you to track your targets, and it also changes the flash for your enemies. So this is Baruka again, and he's going to fire off a few rounds with no Flash Suppressor, and you can see it's very bright on my screen. If I were far away and like trying to snipe him or find him, I could see that. And with the Flash Suppressor, there's virtually no flash at all. So it does confer some stealth abilities as well, but it's not going to keep you off the radar like the silencer will. So again, I would like to reiterate that the Flash Suppressor does not change your recoil at all. Many of you have told me that it definitely does because you can feel that it does, and what you're feeling is the lack of flash and loudness, and it makes it much easier to track your targets. As far as the game code goes, or any and all testing, I've not found any test that indicates this decreases recoil. So my challenge to you would be to design a test and show me how this changes your recoil, and if it does, man, I'll put you in depth if you can prove it. It does change your muzzle flash very significantly. I'd say it's like an 80 to 90% reduction of muzzle flash. From the enemy standpoint, from your standpoint, it pretty much completely removes the muzzle flash. It's like a silencer without the range penalty. That's the best way I would say it, and it allows you to track your targets much easier when the bright light isn't obscuring them. My personal opinions on this attachment is that it is not a useful attachment. You don't get the nice stealth benefit of staying off the radar like a silencer. The gun's not quiet like a silencer. It does have the same muzzle flash reduction ability, so you won't light up and be bright. And you do get the same ability to have less muzzle flash on your end so that you can track targets easier, but no range penalty. I kind of feel like it's not that beneficial to me. Personally, I would just use a red dot sight on just about any gun instead of using the Flash Suppressor. However, while doing the testing, Quentin or Baruka was telling me about how much he does like it, because on some guns he likes the iron sights, and I've got a little tip for you. When you put on optics on a gun, it does change the aim down sights time a little bit. It's usually not like a huge or crazy change, but putting on VMR, thermal, red dot, ACOG, it changes your ADS a little bit, whereas iron sight's always going to have the fastest ADS. And if that's something that you value, I would tell you to use the Flash Suppressor on guns where you really love the iron sights. If you like the AK-12's iron sights, which I do, I think you'll like the flash suppressor on it. And I think it'll make it easier for you to hit your target when it's not flashing and making a really bright noise. It'll help keep you stealthy a little bit because you're going to be far away with a weapon like that. It's not a horrible attachment. It's not a placebo attachment. It definitely does do something, but I do believe it's somewhat misunderstood as to what it does. Just keep in mind it doesn't change your recoil, but it does a lot of other nice things. I hope you enjoyed this episode. My voice is giving out here near the end. If you'd like to check out the previous one on the Vector CRB, click the box on the left, new window. The CBJ MS will also open a new window if you click that one. As always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.